What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video the main topic will be the Bruno Fernandes transfer to Liverpool, because according to the Express newspaper, Liverpool are preparing to rival Manchester United every step of the way in the Bruno Fernandes transfer race, as Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of this player, who broke actually a European record, because since Frank Lampard's tally of scoring 27 goals from midfield in the 2009-2010 season, there wasn't a single midfielder who scored more than 27 goals. But actually Fernandes broke that record. He scored 31 goals from midfield last season for Sporting Lisbon, which is an outstanding number. And even the season before last season, he scored 16 goals from midfield. So he is, I think, a very prolific player. And according to Italian journalist Pietro Balzano Prota, who has been covering the transfer saga, Liverpool want to actually get Bruno Fernandes ahead of Manchester United, who also are a big fan of Bruno Fernandes. And Bruno Fernandes loves the Premier League and he wants one day to play in the Premier League. He said it himself, he doesn't know where his future lies. So let me know guys, do you want Liverpool to sign Bruno Fernandes? Let me know in the comments below, and how much would he be worth in today's market? I think around 50 to 60 million pounds would be a reasonable transfer fee, but according to the newspapers, Sporting value him at 70 million euros, which is about 62 million pounds, which is not, I don't think, is an outrageous number. I think it's a pretty fair number for one of the best goal-scoring midfielders in Europe at the moment. And guys, if you enjoy these types of transfer news videos, please leave a like. It helps me out. It shows me that you guys love these videos. It just takes a second for you guys to press the like button. And Manchester United are also going for this 24-year-old playmaker, who is a Portuguese international as well, but they have a big competition from Liverpool, and also Tottenham and apparently Atletico Madrid also want Bruno Fernandes. And Liverpool were understood to maybe cool their interest a little bit in recent weeks, but according to these fresh reports, Anfield Chiefs are eyeing up Fernandes once more. And Prota, who has been covering the storied pursuit of the player for Radio Rossonera, which is an Italian news outlet, he revealed on Sunday evening that Liverpool could get ahead of Manchester United in the signing race or transfer race for Bruno Fernandes. This is what he tweeted: two teams are now contesting for Bruno Fernandes. Man United were really close to sealing the deal, but now Liverpool have interfered with the negotiations. The player has been dreaming about the Premier League since childhood, so which club will be the winner? I think if it's up to Bruno Fernandes, I think it's a no-brainer that it has to be Liverpool. Manchester United were nowhere near winning a trophy last season. They were nowhere near the Champions League places in the end. They finished in 6th place, so they will be in the Europa League, and their club is a mess. Pogba apparently wants to leave. There are a lot of players who want to leave Manchester United. They are in a massive transitional period. On the other hand, Liverpool are ready to win big trophies and are ready to win a lot of trophies. And actually even Bruno Fernandes commented that he loves the playing style of Liverpool, and he actually prefers Liverpool's playing style to even the playing style of Manchester City. He says that Liverpool play in a way that he loves football to be played, which is a huge compliment coming from Bruno Fernandes. And I think that indicates that he would be very open to actually a transfer in the Premier League. And even though Jurgen Klopp is pretty happy with his squad options and we have a lot of players, Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp wants a goal-scoring attacking midfielder. I mean, why would we pursue Naby Fekir last summer if that wasn't the case? We still haven't really truly replaced Philippe Coutinho, in my opinion, and we need a creative midfielder who can also bang in some goals. And can you imagine how much better Liverpool would be if we had a midfielder who would score 15 to 20 goals a season regularly, and Bruno Fernandes has an incredible shot on him. If you watched his highlights for the Sporting, or if you watched the Nations League where Portugal beat Netherlands in the final, Bruno Fernandes was shooting from like all kinds of ranges. And I think Jurgen Klopp, even though he's happy with the squad, he says that he's open to spending big money on top players if they are available. And I think Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of Bruno Fernandes. And I mean, if Bruno Fernandes goes to another Premier League club, I don't think Liverpool will end up signing him even in the future, because Premier League clubs don't sell to each other. The top six don't really sell to each other, or not that often as it happens in Spain or Germany or Italy or France. And I think it's a big ask to improve this Liverpool team, but I think Jurgen Klopp can do it. And he said many times that he's open to sign big players if the big player is available. And Bruno Fernandes said himself that he wants to play in the Premier League, and he's open to a switch. He loves Sporting. He has been a Sporting fan as well as a player. But if the timing is right, and I think the timing is right now, because Bruno Fernandes wouldn't have a bigger, better opportunity to join one of the truly elite European giant clubs than right now. I mean, will he score another 30 goals next season with Sporting? That's debatable. I think his average should be around 15 to 20 goals, and according to his career, he's averaging about 10, 15, 20 goals a season for Sporting. So I think his rise has been remarkable. And remember that he is just 24 years old, so he is still maturing, and he is still getting probably better each season, and the best years are ahead of Bruno Fernandes. So I don't think it would be unfair to ask for 60 million from Sporting, and I think Liverpool could pay that 60 million pretty much right now and have a world-class midfielder. And just imagine, Liverpool already are the second highest goal scorers in the Premier League. Just imagine if we had a Bruno Fernandes into our squad. I think that would boost Liverpool so much, because last season, if you check the goal scoring numbers, Salah, Mane and Firmino stand out, of course, as our front three players, but the midfielders don't really chip in with a lot of goals. Wijnaldum gets around 5 goals a season. Henderson sometimes chips in with goals. Naby Keita should score 5 to 10 goals next season. Shaqiri scored, I think, 7 goals in total, which is a decent number considering that Shaqiri is only on the bench. But we don't have a midfielder like Coutinho was, like Steven Gerrard was, and I miss those days of a midfielder taking a game and deciding it when the front players are shut down by sometimes by defenders or defenses. That happens sometimes. Liverpool had some games which ultimately cost us the title, where Liverpool couldn't break down the defense with the attackers. Then it's the midfielders' responsibility, and I think a very big weapon could be long-range shots from midfield against packed defenses, and Bruno Fernandes certainly has one of the best long-range shots in European football right now. I mean, you don't score 31 goals from midfield unless you can shoot a lot of goals from long range. And I would love to see a player like Bruno Fernandes at Liverpool. And I'm a big fan of Ruben Neves of Wolverhampton as well, who is another Portuguese midfielder who can shoot from long range. But Ruben Neves doesn't have the prolific goal scoring streak of Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes also plays a lot further forward. He is the midfielder who plays as sometimes a number 10, sometimes a box-to-box midfielder. And I think he would be great for this Liverpool team. And Jurgen Klopp is ready to spend some money, even though many journalists are saying that Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to spend another 150 million. But basically he confirmed in an interview given to German broadcaster ZDF that he is ready to spend the big money to keep up with Europe's elite clubs. This is what he said. When I was in Germany, Bayern had a bottomless pit of money. in those times, like 100 million pounds. But in today's market, that gets you one centre back. So this bottomless pit of money is enough to buy one player in today's world, and that doesn't even cover their wages. The market has changed more than I expected, but I stand by what I said, that if we reach a point where football is all about the money, or solely about the money and not football, then I'm leaving, and I still feel the same way about it. And also, this is the crucial part, Liverpool is an ambitious club, and if we didn't spend the same amount of money as others, we wouldn't be able to compete. Everybody is splashing the cash, so Liverpool have to do the same. And this is, I think, very, very telling, that Jurgen Klopp knows that unless you keep improving your squad every year, and you have to spend big money to do that, if you are a club like Liverpool, unless you improve your squad, you fall behind, and that's not what Liverpool want. This is probably the best time for Liverpool in the past 20 years to really push on and to make the next step, which is to win trophies, big trophies regularly, 1, 2, 3 trophies every season. That's what Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool should be aiming for, and they are aiming for that, in my opinion. And Bruno Fernandes said in a Portuguese interview, "I never said that I wanted to leave, but there are dreams that I would like to fulfill, and one of them is to play in England in the Premier League." Bruno Fernandes has a dream of playing in the Premier League, and I think Liverpool can give it to him. He started off his career in the Serie B, and then in Serie A he played for Novara, and then Udinese, and then Sampdoria. But then he was signed by Sporting, and that's where he really stood out. I mean, for Sporting he scored 47 goals in 106 games, which is almost 1 goal every 2 games. But the craziest part is that last season, this season that just finished, he scored 31 goals in 50 games. Wow, what a return. I mean, even if he just scores 20 goals this season, that would be a remarkable return if Liverpool sign him, and I really hope we do. So let me know, what do you think about that? And Divock Origi's agent apparently is inquiring about which clubs are interested in Origi, and maybe he wants to find a club for Origi where he can be the main man, where he can play every week and bang in the goals. Origi still hasn't signed a contract extension with Liverpool, and he only has 1 year left on his contract. So this is a very dangerous position for Liverpool to be in, because if Origi doesn't sign a contract extension, then we have to sell him right now, otherwise we don't get anything when Origi leaves the club, which would be really, really sad. And Estadio Deportivo, a Spanish news outlet, is claiming that Real Betis are very keen on Origi, and they have labeled him as one of the jewels of the summer, which is a very, very big compliment. But I think Origi should stay at Liverpool and extend his contract. But what if his wage demands are crazy? You know, he's basically forcing Liverpool's hand of not extending his contract, and then maybe he will leave. I really don't want him to leave, because he's a cult hero. He's a kind of an Anfield legend, but with scoring 2 goals in the semi, 1 goal in the final. You know, it's a very dangerous position, because if Origi doesn't extend his contract, he can negotiate with foreign clubs as early as next January for absolutely nothing, and he would leave Liverpool for free. Right now, Origi is worth about 20 to 30 million pounds if he has a long contract, but he doesn't. So it's a very, very dangerous situation for Liverpool to be in. And also, it looks like Simon Mignolet, Liverpool's second choice goalkeeper, is making a decision on his future, and it looks like that he will remain at Anfield. We have been linked with goalkeepers here and there in the summer, but not really like big links, and that should suggest it to me that maybe Jurgen Klopp wants to give Mignolet 1 more year, and maybe he wants to extend his time to look for a really, really good backup goalkeeper. And at the moment, Mignolet is 31 years old, and he probably wants to play football, but he probably realizes that wherever he goes, he has to take a wage cut, because I don't think he would get the wages that he's getting at Liverpool at any other club. I don't think any club who is even close to the level of Liverpool, let's say a Juventus or a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona, they wouldn't go near Mignolet. And not even a club like Tottenham or a club like Napoli would go near Mignolet. And that's the sad reality. Mignolet still has 2 years left on his contract, so we don't have to sell him right now. We can basically give him 1 more year at Liverpool and then we can sell him next summer. But apparently, according to the reports, Liverpool will sell Mignolet if we receive a big offer for him. And also, they would also not stand in his way if a good move becomes available for Mignolet to play regularly at a high level. And this is, I think, the crucial part, that Mignolet wants to play at a very high level. He wants to play at a club who is either in the Europa League or in the Champions League. And I would imagine Mignolet playing in the Bundesliga for a decently sized club, somebody like Borussia Mönchengladbach or Frankfurt or somebody like that. Maybe even Dortmund. He could be a good goalkeeper for Dortmund. But the big question is, would these kind of clubs go for Mignolet? At the moment, I don't think so, mainly because of his wages. And also there is a big question mark. Is he really good enough to play for a club regularly in the Champions League? And Liverpool have moved on so far from the days of being like Liverpool having Mignolet as their first choice goalkeeper. I'm just happy that we have Alisson in the team. And Liverpool midfielder Wijnaldum says that Liverpool's ability to win matches when they were not at their best last season is an indication of the club's evolution. This is what Wijnaldum said. We have evolved a lot. You can see it not only with the results, but also with the way we were playing. We grew during the season. We started really well and we managed to win difficult games where in the past it was quite difficult and we didn't play really well. We didn't win the games that were really tough. But this season we managed to win the majority of those games. We learned a lot. Everyone is a better player than they were before. And I think that is a big quality of Liverpool, that we can win big games even when not playing well. We can win very important games while not at our best, and those are qualities that big clubs have to have if they want to win big trophies. You can't win the Champions League or you can't win a Premier League if you are not able to grind out results when not at your best, and that's a very good quality for Liverpool to have. And also Fernando Torres, who just recently announced his retirement, he said, and I quote, "I always say the best player I played with is Steven Gerrard. I found he was the player who completed my game. I think my level got into a different dimension when I was on the pitch with him. It was an amazing 3.5 years being alongside Steven Gerrard, and would love to go back to those days, even just for 1 minute." And the sad part is, I don't think Torres realized those were his golden years at Liverpool. He was like 24, 25, 26 at that time, and he should probably thought, I have a good 5-6 years left in my football career at the top of my game, but some injuries, especially an injury to his knee, really made Torres lose a yard of pace, and I think that affected his game probably a lot more than he expected to, because Torres didn't really necessarily rely a lot on his pace, but he relied a lot more on his pace than strikers like Suarez, who could make a chance out of nothing. Torres didn't really have the immaculate dribbling skills. He couldn't really dribble past 2 or 3 defenders regularly. So he probably relied on his pace and physicality a lot more than other Liverpool strikers of the past. And when he lost the yard of pace, he was a lot less effective. And as evidence that his goal scoring numbers really declined. And also when he went to Chelsea, his goal scoring numbers took a massive nosedive. And it's a shame, because I think Torres was a world-class striker when he was at Liverpool. He was probably one of the top 5 best strikers in the world at that time. And it's a shame how it ended because of the Liverpool owner situation, but I wish him all the best in his career. I'm not sure what he will be doing next. working in football, becoming a manager or an agent. I'm not sure what his plans are, but I'm a big fan of Torres still, and I wish him all the best. And Danny Mills explains why Nathaniel Clyne's Liverpool career is all but over. It looks like we will sell Clyne in the summer, and this is what Danny Mills, the pundit, said. He went to Liverpool, Clyne, and at the time it looked like he was going to be England's number 2 right back for a very long time. I always thought he was a very good defender, brought up playing football in the right way. It just wasn't to be. You get injured, somebody comes in, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and suddenly he maybe shows he has the edge on you. That's life. If you do miss a period through injury and somebody gets the chance and does well, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to accept it. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been always absolutely exceptional. He has been a revelation at Liverpool. And Klopp will think, right, I've got 2 right backs, both internationals, both earning good money. One is not needed, surplus to requirements. I think Clyne will be sold. The biggest problem that Clyne has is this: he doesn't have the crossing ability and he doesn't have the dribbling skills to go past people. And he is a very, very good defender. But nowadays, Liverpool's attacks have so much emphasis on the fullbacks. Trent and Robertson, they are so good at whipping balls in and even going past defenders, and just Clyne doesn't have that. He doesn't have the end product of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I think that's the main reason why we are selling Clyne. And I think Clyne will do well at a club where his main focus will be defending as a right back. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.